The holographic chamber of the Galaxy Council hummed with tension as representatives from 47 species materialized in their designated seats. High Arbiter Velmoth, a crystalline being from the Andromeda sector, adjusted his translation matrix and called the emergency session to order. "We gather today," his voice resonated through quantum channels, "to address the unprecedented situation regarding species 7842C, commonly known as humans from planet Earth." Ambassador Krythix, a mantis-like creature representing the collective hives, clicked her mandibles nervously. "High Arbiter, with all respect, we have made a grave miscalculation. The initial invasion projections were catastrophically wrong. 3 months earlier, the Council had authorized its standard pacification protocol for Earth. Humanity had been deemed a Class 4 developing civilization, primitive, chaotic, and dangerously divided. The planet's resources were valuable, and its location strategically important for the new hyperspace corridor. The assessment had been clear: soft resistance expected, full compliance within 6 standard cycles. Commander Zephyros of the Talmarian Empire had volunteered his fleet for the operation. It was supposed to be routine, a demonstration of superior force, followed by surrender negotiations. His armada of 300 warships had entered Earth's solar system with fanfare, broadcasting the standard ultimatum in all major human languages. The response had been silence. Then came the counterattack. "Show them," Velmoth commanded, his crystalline form dimming with what might have been dread. The chamber's center flickered to life with tactical recordings. The council members watched in stunned silence as Earth's defense unfolded. What they witnessed defied every calculation, every strategic model they had developed over 10,000 years of galactic dominance. Humans hadn't just fought back, they had fought dirty. The first surprise came from Earth's moon. What Zephyros had dismissed as a primitive satellite was actually a weapons platform. Railguns, hidden in false craters, had opened fire with kinetic projectiles traveling at relativistic speeds. 12 Talmarian destroyers had disintegrated before they could even raise shields. "Impossible," Ambassador Krythix whispered. "They're a pre-warp civilization." "How did they?" "They built it in secret," interrupted General Mordax, a battle-scarred veteran from the Rigel Compact. "4 decades. While we were watching their primitive television broadcasts and laughing at their chemical rockets, they were preparing for this exact scenario." The recordings continued. Human ships, crude, angular vessels that looked like industrial accidents, emerged from behind asteroids, from beneath lunar craters, even from hiding spots within Earth's own atmosphere. They weren't elegant. They weren't sophisticated. They were brutal instruments of war, designed with one purpose: to kill. And they were disturbingly effective. The humans employed tactics that violated every galactic warfare convention. They used their own damaged ships as kinetic missiles, crashing them into council vessels with suicidal precision. They deployed crude nuclear weapons, technology most species abandoned millennia ago, not as primary weapons, but as area denial tools, creating radioactive clouds that disrupted sensors and communication. They hacked. That was perhaps the most shocking revelation. While the Council's technology was objectively superior, it was also standardized, interconnected through quantum networks that had remained unchanged for centuries. The humans, coming from a culture of constant cyber warfare and digital espionage, had found vulnerabilities that no one else had even thought to look for. Commander Zephyros's flagship, the Eternal Glory, had been taken over remotely. His own point defense systems had turned on his fleet. The footage showed the massive dreadnought firing on its escorts while human voices, actually laughing, echoed through the hijacked communication channels, broadcasting phrases like "GG no re" and "get wrecked noobs" that translation matrices struggled to interpret. "What does yeet mean?" Ambassador Krythix asked weakly, watching a human pilot eject his damaged fighter directly into a Talmarian cruiser's bridge viewport. No one answered. The battle had lasted 6 hours. Of Commander Zephyros's 300 ships, only 43 had escaped. The humans had lost over 2,000 vessels, but they had millions more willing to fight. Every report indicated that Earth's population had unified with terrifying speed. Political divisions, religious differences, ancient hatreds, all had evaporated the moment an external threat appeared. They call it the fuck around and find out protocol, reported Intelligence Officer Xanathar, a floating brain suspended in nutrient gel. It appears to be a cultural response mechanism we failed to account for. They have countless historical examples of their species uniting against common enemies. We should have known. Velmotha's crystalline form pulsed with deep purple, a color indicating profound regret. The Talmarian Empire demands retaliation. They want to deploy the full might of the Council's combined fleets. No! The shout came from Ambassador Lyrian of the Peaceful Accord, a species that had evolved past physical aggression millions of years ago. Have we learned nothing? A full assault would be genocide. These beings, they fight like they have nothing to lose because they believe they have nothing to lose. We made them desperate. General Mordax stood, his forearms crossed. The ambassador is correct. I've studied their military history. These creatures have been at war with themselves for their entire existence. They've refined killing into an art form. Every century, they make their weapons more efficient, their tactics more ruthless. If we escalate, they will match us. And they learn. Faster than any species I've encountered. The chamber fell silent as this truth settled over them like a shroud. What do you propose? Velmoth asked quietly. We negotiate, Lyrian said firmly. We apologize. We offer reparations. And we grant them provisional council membership. The chamber erupted in protests, but Velmoth raised a crystalline limb for silence. The humans have already transmitted their terms. They want three things: formal recognition as a sovereign species, immediate withdrawal of all council forces from their solar system, and... He paused. They want Commander Zephyros extradited to stand trial for war crimes on Earth. Zephyros, attending remotely from his medical facility, roared in outrage, but his objection was overruled by a swift vote. Furthermore, Velmoth continued, they've sent a message to broadcast to the entire galaxy. Display it. The hologram shifted to show a young human female, wearing what appeared to be a military uniform, standing before a backdrop of Earth. Her eyes were hard, her jaw set. To the Galaxy Council and all who watch, she said, her voice clear and unwavering. We are humanity. We did not seek this conflict, but we will finish it. Any species that comes to our world with hostile intent will learn what we've taught each other for thousands of years: we are very, very good at war. We hope for peace. We reach out our hand in friendship. But if you come with weapons, you will leave in body bags. Or you won't leave at all. The transmission ended. Ambassador Krythix was the first to speak, her voice barely above a whisper. Motion to grant immediate council membership and issue formal apology. Seconded, said Mordax. The vote was unanimous. As the session adjourned, Velmoth remained in the chamber, studying the star map that showed Earth's small, yellow sun. Such a tiny planet. Such a brief existence in cosmic terms. And yet, they had just rewritten the galactic balance of power. He wondered what humanity would do next. The galaxy, suddenly, seemed much smaller than before.